YouTube. I'm EdwardStarcraft, and with me is Katu, and we are casting the first game in the quarterfinals for the Spazcraft Kingston Invitational here on April 13th. April 13th, 2011. This is the map, the Shattered Temple, and we're watching a game between FXOMoonan, spawning at the top hand position as the green Terran player, aka Cute Asian Girl, and spawning at the bottom hand side as the purple Protoss player. We have EG's own EGAxslav. We've been following EGAxslav here on the stream, on these two streams, Justin.tv/Spazcraft and Justin.tv/EdwardStarcraft. There are also a few other streams going on for Spazcraft Kingston Invitational as well. We have Justin.tv/Mr. Bitter and also Mr. Bitter and Ascend doing, I'm not sure which one they're doing, Mike D, Easy Pikachu, Hypercrew, all casting all these great events, so this should definitely be very exciting. So let's take a look at both players' opening builds here today, Katu. Now,
yeah, so far not too much has been revealed. We do have a gas going down after Gateway for EGAxslav, and so nothing really to tell just yet. There is no refinery though for Cute Asian Girl, and he did block off with a support, or a supply depot rather, very early, and he didn't allow EGAxslav to get entrance whatsoever into his base. And I think that is to hide the fact that he didn't get any gas, which basically means that he's going for a command center very early on here, and we already see him saving up around 325 minerals. Should make its way towards 400, at which point he will be putting down that expansion.
I have to note though that there is something slightly odd about this fast expansion build, is that usually in the 1-Rax fast expand build for Terran players, you do get supply blocked. I mean, you're supposed to get supply blocked at 19 because you place the command center first and then your supply depot. But it looks like FXOMoonan looking to apply some pressure, or not, no, just scouting around with that Marine, but looking to get that complete wall off first, to give that more of an element of surprise, because now EGAxslav seeing that wall off, thinking, oh, is there something weird going on behind? You know, am I going to see Banshees? Am I going to see, you know, okay, I was just going to say DTs, but then I was like, wait, no, we have flying DTs.
Drop or something like that.
Yeah, blue. But
EGAxslav actually put down his Nexus at his own natural. Oh, so, excuse me, getting a couple burps there. But so maybe he has seen this kind of play coming out of Moonan in the past, and right now he is getting a factory though, as he put down those double gases as soon as he started his command center. So I'm gonna be trying to tech up and expand at the same time, which is quite risky usually. However, EGAxslav, who likes those macro games himself, is getting a Nexus, so he should be able to pull it off with relative ease.
Yeah, I don't know about this though. I'm saying in sort of Cute Asian Girl's non-favor, because here you have to say that EGAxslav, he knows about this expansion and he knows that he can apply some pressure, especially since it looks like that Moonan is actually going to be teching up very quickly at the same time. So not only is he going to be low on military at the first place because he is expanding so early, he's going to be low on military because he is going to tech up to Starport very, very early on. And he does know about EGAxslav's Nexus over here, and I think this might work for him, but it will be a bit dangerous. And actually, funnily enough, I thought this tech lab, this factory, was going to be for Banshees, but it looks like Moonan is going to just go into tanks. Marine tank.
Yeah, I kind of thought that as well, but we do see now still a tech lab going down on the starport, so we very well could see some Banshees, or more likely though in this later stage is going to be some Ravens. That point defense drone is so strong against the Protoss army, so I'd expect to more see a Raven at this point. And we do see, look at that, EGAxslav going for those rocks once again, and that'll put him right on time for a 930 expansion to the goal. So looks like he might be trying to be very greedy once again.
Yeah, that's the thing about EGAxslav. He is incredibly greedy in terms of securing resources for himself, but it might work out for him yet again this time. Now, it looks like Moonan is researching Cloak for Banshees, and he will be doing some Banshee harassment. This is just a different army composition that I've never really seen too much from Terran players, because it does require a lot of gas. But here you see that Moonan actually getting this fast expansion to get actually an early third gas, really early, but no fourth gas. He's making sure to balance his gas and mineral spending, and you can see that's actually working out very well for him. Now, with these few Marines, he would be incredibly screwed if EGAxslav tried to one base all in him or something like that. But here, I mean, it looks like it's working out very well for him. He knows EGAxslav's style for Protoss versus Terran, or he's lucky, at least, that EGAxslav plays this style.
Yeah, well, that's a huge thing you have to think about when you're playing at the pro level, at these tournament levels. You can't do that same build that you do on the ladder that wins you, 55, 60% of your games, because your opponents are going to know about that, and they're going to be able to, come up with these non-conventional builds that are normally not too great, but against your particular style end up being quite effective. And we do have a Cloak Banshee here doing a ton of damage to this mineral line of EGAxslav by Cute Asian Girl, and that cannon is going to take quite a while to go up, and he's not even making his probes run away. I can't say I agree with that, Edward. You play Zerg, right?
I actually play Protoss, so really, it really depends. Because the thing is, if this probe line runs away, then EGAxslav, then Moonan would just move into the main base for EGAxslav, and it would just be incredibly annoying. It would be incredibly difficult to defend. So here EGAxslav decides that he's going to just try to soak up some damage with his army. You saw he had hit those stalkers over there, and he tried to see if maybe his opponent was just moving, but unfortunately for him, Moonan did queue up attack commands on those probes and got quite a few harvester kills. Let's open up the tab over here, and we see 13 workers killed by Moonan, 0 units killed from EGAxslav. Now up to 2, so it looks like he must have killed one of those Banshees.
Moonan moving out with the Marine tank army right there, but that Banshee got taken out on the high ground. I wonder if that's a glitch on Shattered Temple. Gonna have to check that out. We do see a couple robotics facility going down, as well as a forge and a Twilight Council. And EGAxslav with that third gold base up is in great position right now. Moonan has to move forward and make him pay for this greediness, but again, I think he might have waited too late, just like SKU had done in the games before.
If he just pushed in right then and there, I think he would have a great chance of taking out EGAxslav, because you take a look at the Marine count here from Moonan. Great Marine count, good number of tanks as well. EGAxslav, with so many stalkers, wouldn't be able to do enough damage to that army. However, the Marines do not have stim, and now EGAxslav knows he needs to destroy these bunkers, so a nice job over here with these force fields, going to take out these bunkers, but EGAxslav also taking heavy damage at the same time. We take a look at the units killed tab. EGAxslav now with a few more units killed, but still, I feel that EGAxslav well, I guess he didn't know about those tanks over there. He didn't have that scouting information, but I like these patrolling probes over here to catch some drops. And now,
yeah, that's a great play there by EGAxslav. Really being smart, really being safe. He knows he's got this economic lead, and here comes the attack. The Marines are moving forward. They still do not have stim. It's not even on the way, and that might be a huge blunder there by Moonan. He might have forgotten to get it entirely. These tanks at the back, though, doing an absolute ton of damage to all of these gateway units, and it looks like Cute Asian Girl Moonan is going to be able... Oh no, but his Marines move forward and take an absolute ton of damage as EGAxslav's units back up, and now he is trying to move forward with these tanks, but maybe trying to move forward just a bit too much.
But here's the thing, is that EGAxslav, he was researching Zealot Charge, and that would allow his Zealots to be so much more useful, but Moonan, recognizing that his opponent didn't have these forces, he wasn't going to really let EGAxslav tech up that quickly, and now Moonan moving in with his Marines, before his opponent had the time. Now here, EGAxslav, his last-ditch effort, trying to take out these tanks with these charged zealots, are just not enough units anymore. If EGAxslav had the time to wait for his charge, it would have worked very well for him. But he just, Moonan was great. He forced that confrontation over there, and that forced EGAxslav to attack into his tanks before he had charge, and that basically just killed EGAxslav. Now EGAxslav actually getting out 2 immortals. Those immortals might actually allow him to hold off this attack. And yes, it looks like
he was able to pick out those tanks, and now he's cleaning up the Marines with those charge lots. There is one tank trying to move in and help out, but that tank number has been reset now for Moonan with that great immortal play, and he's actually even holding his gold base right now. And with all of these zealots, he might actually be able to continue pushing this back. He should be attacking that tank though right now with those immortals, and he isn't. Finally, he does target that one tank. These stalkers moving up, doing a ton of damage, and it looks like he's going to be able to hold this off for now, Edward, and that means that he's held on to this gold base the entire time, which should mean that he is now in a great position because he took that greedy move and was still able to hold off the attack.
I have to say though that Moonan, if he got stim on his Marines, he would have done that much better against the charged zealots. I have no idea why he did not get stim, especially since he's already 1-1 on his Marines. Stim is the best upgrade you can get, and he even had medevacs. So that, I think, just killed Moonan. If he had stim, his push would have just killed EGAxslav outright. I mean, that's really what you need with your Marines, but without stim, he can't kite those zealots. He can't do insane amounts of damage with his Marines. Of course, he does more damage with his Marines because of the weapons and upgrades, but those defense upgrades don't work very well against zealots with so much armor and so much attack upgrades. So here, it looks like Moonan trying to expand here to the gold as well. He's taking this for a bit of time, but you can see that he's not quite mining the most effectively. And Moonan, I really have to say, give up this contain since it's not quite working. He's just continuing to try to push up these bunkers, not working out for him, and he's just going to lose more units than he needs to if he continues. I mean, just charge it immoral. Great unit composition against this tank heavy unit composition.
Yeah, you can say that again, Edward, and we can see it paying off right now. EGAxslav's forces are pretty much just plowing right through everything that that Moonan has, and Moonan looks like he's in a terrible position right now, losing absolutely all of his tanks. Looking at that unit count, we've got 0 tanks right now, and only 14 Marines make that.
Yep, I mean, you take a look at army count, supply. The supply for EGAxslav just 50 ahead of Moonan. That is just 50%, because I mean Moonan is at about 100 supply, so about a 50% more supply. These stalkers over here actually, perhaps even, nope, they're not going to deny that command center, but at least scout out for a command center over there, making sure that EGAxslav still ahead on economy. We take a look at income. EGAxslav 73 harvesters to 61, and this is just showing, how macro EGAxslav plays. He managed to hold off those attacks, and now these Marines trying to take out the stalkers, but still, these charged zealots with so many upgrades, 3 upgrades now. They're one of the highest DPS units actually in the game, with 3 upgrades. It's kind of silly, you think about it and you don't think that they have that much damage, but most of the problem is getting to the target, and if your opponent cannot kite because your opponent does not have stim. Now Moonan still without any stim, just now researching it, and with a longer stim research time, you really have to get stim as early as possible. But
yeah, EGAxslav did a great job too. He just moved forward, took out the gold base, and said, you know what, that's enough. I know exactly how many bases he has. He's been active with his stalkers, and he's got those pylons and probes still checked. And now we do see that there's a drop moving out for Moonan. He is going to try and do a bit of damage, deny this 5th base, but it looks like EGAxslav now going to be moving forward, and I'm not sure if he's going to just apply a light contain, or if he's actually going to try and go in for the kill. He does have some cannons back here. Oh dear, that medevac just dies straight up, doesn't do any damage, and meanwhile EGAxslav is pushing forward. None of the tanks were sieged, and that means that these dogs are going to be able to get right in there, do a ton of damage. Same thing with the Stalkers, and these Colossus now, yeah, going to town, and Moonan does have to GG, so EGAxslav taking this 1-1 on Shattered Temple, going for that extremely risky, greedy macro gimmick, and it paid off for him twice, so, you know, can't really fault him on that kind of choice, decision making.